Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin.
15 PCA.
810-454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. So they decided to make an animated version of the live action version of the graphic novel Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. And from what I've seen, and like they got all the live action actors to reprise their roles for the animated version, but it's exactly the same thing. I know but the thing is the creator was like wrote the screenplay right for the live action version, so like he had complete control. And I guess he purposely made the endings different because like the graphic novel ended after the movie, and it's a little bit different in the ending. But so it's like you repackaged the same thing. You might as well have just took the live action film and put an AI filter on it to make it look animated.
Right, because there's very similar, actually for scene, very similar things.
Even the same framing.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I guess he wanted to do it animated, I guess.
Do you believe in the statement that Scott Pilgrim ruined a generation of comic book fans?
No. I tell you the truth, I think the comic book industry ruined the comic book,
I think the problem with Scott Pilgrim is, while it was lightning in a bottle, and I liked I really liked the movie. I read some of the comic like a long time ago, but I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was fun. The video game references, all that stuff. I think that's really fun. But when you really think about it, Scott's a royal piece of S. He's just a giant human garbage.
Well, especially throughout like the whole story, because he goes to girl to girl to girl without really actually like ending the relationship, and he just kind of
he's dating a teenager and he's an adult.
First of all, yes, that's very that part. But before the past ones, he would literally be like, "Oh yeah, I like you. We're dating." Then all of a sudden, "Oh, new girl. Hey, what's up? I'm dating you."
He's a piece of garbage.
Yeah, and then not even question the first one. Say, "Hey, we're breaking up."
Oh, didn't you get it when I started seeing the other girl?
Yeah,
that's the kind of attitude he had.
Yeah.
But I guess that makes it more real. But he's also a piece of garbage. He's not a good guy.
Right. And
Scott is not a good person.
And then him dating someone younger, even though in the movie and then probably in the comic book as well, they say stuff like, "Well, I haven't kissed her, I haven't really touched her or anything."
That's still gross.
That's still Scott. That's still bad.
Knives was like 17, and he's like 26.
Or
yeah, he's older. He's definitely way older. But that's just super gross.
Right.
I really like the music. I think that was Brie Larson's best role was in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Yeah.
She was really good in that movie. I just don't understand they did the reverse Disney. They took a live action and made it animated instead of taking an animation and making it live action, which I know a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, it's so crazy, it's so cool," but if it's just
the
movie again, literally just the movie, just animated. I just like how I said that's the problem with the Disney live action remakes. If it's scene for scene exactly like the animated version, then why make it?
Yeah.
Then if it's so different, why not just make it something else? So there's your issue there. So I don't understand why this exists. Like I just shrug my shoulders going, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, and that's what I would say too. Is it something I would watch? Maybe if I was bored, but
it's on Netflix, so I don't know if it's a series or a movie, but it's okay.
Yeah.
And the Scott Pilgrim, it has like its video game references and its quirkiness, and I think it hit the right balance for the most part with this thing. Then like other people are like, "I will have the anime reference in my story," and he did it too damn much. Mm-hmm. Then it's like, let me guess, Revolutionary Girl Utena, you're gonna reference that. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're gonna reference Evangelion. You're gonna it's like, okay, we get it.
Right.
I think people got the wrong message creatively from Scott Pilgrim, and what works for Scott Pilgrim doesn't necessarily work for your idea and your show.
Right. Would you say the anime or even the cartoon of like shows like Fooly Cooly, Scott Pilgrim, where they have all these like beefed up references where you know that like, oh, if you were like a big mech fan, you would know this.
Yeah,
or if you were a big, action fan, you would know this.
Here's the thing. I'd call this like Easter egg culture. Guess the reference. Oh, did you see that thing in the background that really was part 7 of this episode in the background of this anime? Oh, it was in the background of this show too. To a point, it's cute and it's funny, but when it's like the only thing you care about.
Right.
Easter eggs and references are supposed to be funny little ha-has. Not the reason why something's so amazing.
Right. Or do you feel like the way to remedy that is if you're going to put something in your show, do you just put it in the forefront? Like, obviously, this is what it is.
It depends. See, Scott Pilgrim's kind of a comedy.
Right.
So then it makes more sense.
Okay.
So it's a little more sense that it has like the references and the silliness, like they're you know, like when they talk about Clash at Demon Head, you know, is the name of one of the bands. That's a really old Nintendo game.
Right.
But when you have something that's supposed to be a little more serious, even like Cartoon Network, because this generation of people grew up watching anime, and then you have things like in Steven Universe where like, oh, he has a magical girl transformation. You know, it's not
right. Or again, referencing regular show when they had the anime opener, but that was just obvious that like
that was so obviously over the top, and you could tell it was done out of like 70s anime love, of like classic mecha stuff, and that was cool. It wasn't just like, you know, like see, it all comes from where it comes from in your heart. Are you doing it as like a cash grab? Are you doing it like, oh, I remember growing up watching Macross on a dud VHS tape that I got from my friend, and it had subtitles that were translated 3 different times, so you couldn't understand what's going on in the story.
Right.
That's how I watched a lot of anime growing up in high school.
Right. Or the crazy anime opener where like it had not that animation in the opener.
Yeah.
Like it was just like blow you away.
Which was made famous in things like Thundercats.
Yeah.
Or like that. Imagine if the whole show had animation like that. It'd be the coolest. It'd be so badass. But it was cool. But that's the whole cameo culture. And I think it works a little bit better in something like Scott Pilgrim because it's from the very beginning. It's a silly story that's goofy and weird. It does have some touching moments, you know, like, well, Scott kind of grows as a person a little bit. Mm-hmm. But it's mainly a comedy. Mainly. So it works a little better. Like it all depends, and it's like a case-to-case basis. I'm not saying all references and all Easter eggs are stupid. Yeah. It's just how you use them and how they're executed.
Right.
Like jokes. I don't mind jokes in movies, but when you have something serious happening, you don't need a character come in and go, "Did you hear that fart?" Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you don't need that in a serious situation.
Or in a serious situation, having an Easter egg in the background, so no one's even caring on what the characters are saying because they're looking for everything.
Oh, look, that's the thing from this thing that had a thing in it. Shut the hell up.
Yeah.
And again, the scourge of my life, the top 10 things you missed in the first episode of Scott Pilgrim. I hate those videos because they're so cheap, and in my mind, there's no way this person knew those things. The company sent this guy all the stuff to make a video about, to make hype, so you're making a commercial for the show. And I can't stand it. It's corporate, it's phony, and I hate it.
Right. Or you have a bunch of people or a bunch of cronies that are weird, or you're that psycho guy that's literally...
Who watches the show frame by frame? That's not how it was meant to be enjoyed.
Exactly. That's almost like you're crazy.
But at the same time, who am I to tell you how to enjoy a show? I get both sides of it, but you need to make a video all about the top 10 things.
Well, it's like how I always said about like eating your meal. I guess there's maybe in between of scarfing it down and then taking slivers at a time and just...
Yeah, you aren't writing down every feeling you have with every bite. I guess, but it does make you a little strange. And also just jamming your food in your mouth and not even chewing it. That's also strange too.
Can we get something in the middle?
Yeah, I know. But it's just, I got a feeling that there's going to be a lot of that.
And
did you know in the first episode of Scott Pilgrim, when he says this, he's talking about this? Yeah, we know. Yes, we know, you're the Pac-Man guy.
Well, and also I think maybe because of the internet now, like, it's just easy. Like, we don't even really need those kind of videos anymore because you could look it up if you really wanted to. You'll find it.
And that video will have 400 million views on it.
4 million.
That's the most laziest piece of garbage, trash, shovel media there ever was. That's why I can't stand it. It takes no thought. Because I know you didn't see these things. It got sent to you. And you made a commercial for a show that you probably don't even like.
Yeah.
That's the top 10 things you didn't know. The top 10 things you didn't know about top things you didn't know videos. They're all fake. That's all you need to know. But Scott Pilgrim bred that kind of fan, that kind of person.
Right.
The top 10 Mojo videos. Garbage.
Yeah.
They're garbage.
Then it became what was the most controversial one, or the one they make fun of all the time? top 10 like saddest anime moments or
Yeah.
something like that, and some of them weren't even animes; they were like other things. You're like, what the heck?
There's a joke because there's people out there that like, yeah, when I was 11 years old, I thought these videos were cool. But once you grew up and realized, oh my God, I need to get away from the hive mind, you see how tepid and shallow and stupid those videos are.
Yeah.
But yeah, but Scott Pilgrim is that generation of those people who grew up to make those videos. They grew up with Scott Pilgrim.
Right.
So again, did Scott Pilgrim ruin them, or were they always ruined and they just so happened to like Scott Pilgrim?
Well, tell you the truth, being like in fandom for like a long time with anything, there was always been that guy.
Yeah,
that knew everything.
Yeah. Even like there'd be times where we would go to an anime convention and someone's talking about Gundam, and there's a guy in the crowd who has to correct the panelist about serial code numbers on the RX-7X version 2.7, but in the manga it's a .276. Dude, shut the hell up.
Right. And or even talk about like, well, technically in the in the manga the colors of the Gundam are this, but in the TV
in the book they're actually bigger.
Yeah, and all this stuff, and so it's like, so yeah, there's always been that guy that knew everything.
Yeah,
but now
in the original novel translation in Germany they called it there. Oh God, Jesus.
Right. And so maybe they gave him an avenue.
Now they can share their craziness with the internet, and I realize a lot of people who just want to consume that shovel media.
Right, or also think it's cool, and really it's like, it's just kind of useless information, but...
It all kind of boils down to, as we're talking about Scott Pilgrim ruining people, when you found something out on your own, and this happens in video games a lot, like in Super Mario Brothers, the Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo, I found that secret level when you have to fly backwards and up over into the thing. I found that as a kid. No magazines, no nothing. I found that, and when I'm like, oh my God, that is so cool. And I told people about it at school and they didn't believe me. Then like it got like in Nintendo Power and everything. But I honest to God found that secret on my own. And how cool I felt. And that's still like a core memory for me, figuring that out. Because I'm like, it looks like, oh, there's room up there. So I'm trying to use my cape to get up there. And then if you go all the way to the left, you can go up there. But now no one knows anything because you watch the video that tells you all the secrets.
Right.
So you didn't notice that Easter egg. That guy in the stupid video told you about that Easter egg.
Right, so there is no actual discovery.
Yeah, you don't get that cool feeling of like, oh wow, that was a cool thing I saw. Mm-hmm. Then it becomes a race to who can find all the first cool things. So exactly. I can make a video about it.
And then that's where the difference is too. Where you weren't looking for it, but you're like, hey, I bet you let me go up there. Now there's dedicated people that will take
only looking for Easter eggs.
Yes, they'll take their game frame by frame looking at everything.
But who am I to tell this guy, hey, don't make that video that's going to make you $5,000?
Yeah, true.
But did you see, every video we ever make, I did it because I think it's cool and it's fun. Like you get 1 view or 5 trillion views, it didn't matter to me because I think it's cool when I talk about stuff.
Right.
That's what matters to me. But there's a lot of people, man, that's their hustle. Who am I to crap on their hustle?
Right. Or this is their actual job.
Yeah, that's their job. And that's how they feed themselves.
Yeah.
Is by making the top 10 coolest things they found this weekend. Top 10 pieces of crap I saw in the park when I was walking. This one was real chunky. I just find it to be tepid. And Scott Pilgrim, is it the symptom, or is it a symptom of the disease, or was it the disease? I think it's a symptom of the disease. It didn't create this because that person always existed.
Right.
But then they found something that got kind of mainstream popular a little bit, and then they just clung on to it.
Right.
And then you got the casuals, and then you got the crazy hardcores, and that's a weird mix of people.
Right. And now the crazy hardcores now have an outlet to be like, let me tell you everything about this.
Yeah.
Let me show you everything about this episode you might have missed.
But then they get upset when someone doesn't name the right person, or like, oh, because I forgot the names of the twins.
Right. Or you'll get, literally I've seen this with people that review either Star Wars or something. They'll call the Wookiees Chewies. Like, oh, it's Chewie's people, or look, it's the Chewies.
Actually, they're Wookiees.
Yeah, exactly. And they'll literally get people writing to them. No, they're Wookiees, and and it's like, okay, like we can.
The Kashyyyk.
Kazook.
The Kazook. They call it Kazook.
And this holiday special.
And the holiday special is Kashyyyk. How do you pronounce that so wrong? Oh, like Kazook.
They're on planet Kazook, and it's like
maybe it's a different planet.
Maybe the Empire says it weird. I don't know.
But here's the difference between correcting the official things for doing wrong, but regular fans who don't necessarily may not know.
Right.
You have to gauge your audience.
Right.
And then it'd be later on, like, hey, dude, actually it's called this, but don't try to like, because that gets someone to never be part of the fandom again.
Right. Exactly.
But then you can't pass up an opportunity to be an asshole. so many people.
Right, yeah, it's where you can...
Wait a second, I could be a roll asshole right now, and then they take it.
I have a moment to either be kind and nice, or I could be a straight up a-hole.
I watched Scott Pilgrim, and Scott's a piece of shit, so I can be a piece of shit.
Or Ready Player One,
Yeah.
from the novel. Anyways.
Yeah, oh yeah. I read that book in anticipation for the movie, like, okay, I'm going to read the book first, and I'm like, it's okay.
But again, he's kind of one of those, like, people were like, you know, because everyone in stories love a lovable loser, right?
Yeah.
But like, we don't like lovable losers that are
Also assholes and jerks.
Yeah.
Crimson's in here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting on the video really helps out a lot. It gets the video spread around more people get to see the videos, and we get to make more videos for you guys. So thank you, and we appreciate every single one of you guys.